the memory of a fellow senator who was memorialized 2 days ago, and this is fully inappropriate. It denigrates the respect afforded to colleagues, particularly fallen colleagues of this House. It is fully inappropriate, and I appreciate the President taking action to rule this out of order. Thank you.
Senator Martin, your point of order is well taken. Senator Leyva for procedural rights.
Adjourn in memory.
Without objection.
Members, it is with
With Senator Nguyen on the Senate floor today.
I'm still trying to figure that one out myself too.
It sounds like it was an Elizabeth Warren type of situation.
It's someone. I will say this, and I'll just make a very brief comment. I'm greatly unsettled what took place on the floor. I will be speaking with Senator Janet Nguyen as well as the Republican leader, Ms. Fuller, shortly. We want to give everyone an opportunity to have their ability to speak their mind. There was a parliamentary procedure that was not followed. It could have easily been dealt with in terms of speaking to the condition of the file. There was a refusal to recognize that parliamentary procedure. The presiding officer at that moment had asked her on numerous occasions to cease speaking and to go to condition of the file. That was ignored for reasons I don't know. I have yet to speak with her directly and personally. I am unsettled across the board of not following the rules and the parliamentary procedures that could have been dealt with quite easily, and just the way it was handled. So I'll be speaking with her as well as Ms. Fuller.
With the senator today?
Well, I was disappointed that the California State Senate shut down an elected senator who is a Vietnamese refugee and did not allow her to speak. And they did not allow her to speak for hundreds of thousands of her constituents and fellow national folks. And they actually took her out of session, and I've just never seen that in my 11 years here.
I was going to ask you, does this happen sometimes though? Like for instance, if one member is speaking negatively about another or whatever, doesn't this happen sometimes where somebody's mic is turned off?
Sometimes they turn off the mic, but in this case, generally the presiding officer will advise the member of what the alternate motion is if they think there's a different motion. In this case, they did not do that. They infringed on her right of speech. They also withheld the tapes from us up to this point, so they are in violation of California state law. And we just feel that we tried to go through all the procedures and that they have suppressed our right to explain our position, and particularly our refugees' position. It's not clear why they thought they could do this, but it's very clear that they thought she was not the right kind of immigrant.
Did she, I mean, to tell you the truth, I'm not familiar with the rules, but all the rules, but did she follow protocol in terms of when she was speaking?
As a former presider, I say yes, she did. But even if the presiding officer thought she did not, it is his duty to advise her of the proper role. In general, all elected members from the Senate are allowed to do an adjourn in memory at any time they wish for anybody they wish, and they don't generally have to ask permission to do so.
What do you say to people who are saying, like when this happened with Elizabeth Warren, some people were saying that, the Democrats are using this as a political ploy. And, what do you say to people who are saying maybe this is the same sort of thing going on?
Well, there were several Democratic members on the floor who felt that this was not right. One or two of them actually spoke out against it at the time. I think that the Senate in California as a whole feels that this is not a precedent that they want to do. I asked for an investigation by the Rules Committee because I would like to be very specific about what they think we should do in the future. Evidently, they felt that it was the wrong timing, but would they have rather that this came up during the adjourned memory when the family was there? And by the way, this member, Janet Nguyen, did go to them and ask permission and tell them ahead of time that she wanted to do this, and she wanted to do it in the most respectful way. And so we feel that if the press is our best ally in showing transparency, giving enough information to the public to decide, that withholding videotapes, withholding the transcript, and shutting off the microphone when they've never used that rule in that way before is absolutely just wrong. And I know that you know me pretty well, and you all know that I rarely speak out and am enraged. And as a former school teacher and superintendent, I am absolutely enraged. I believe that we have the right to disagree and let the public decide. And I believe that this law that they have violated, that basically says the public can have the videotapes, we all can have videotapes, we all can use the footage of the live session, by not allowing that is absolutely wrong. The people voted that law in. This is not a little Senate law. This is a law voted on by the people of California.
Okay, great. Anything else you want to add?
I'm just extremely disappointed in my tenure as leader. We have been able to let everyone voice their opinion on most issues. And lately it just seems that people are beginning to judge people by whether they like their comments or not. And this is a precedent that all of us, and many on both sides of the aisle, think has to be resolved and has to be treated in a different way. This was wrong.
Do you think because she was speaking Vietnamese that was one of the key things, that they didn't know what she was talking about, and let's turn her mic off? Go ahead, look at Midori.
The fact that
Look at Midori.
Janet Nguyen was speaking Vietnamese, they did not turn her mic off until she began to speak in English. So that was not the fact. But that would have been wrong, too. Mm-hmm. It's not against the law in the state legislature to speak in a language other than your own, and there are other languages used all the time in our session. So basically, I can find no moral excuse for or any reason that's ever been used in the past to tell Janet that she had to stop speaking about the advocacy for her constituents and for immigrants, and to physically take her off the floor. And by the way, you've seen how tiny she is. Mm-hmm. I mean, it really wasn't a hard job to do that.
Okay. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Tell you, Senator, one thing I'm curious about, you had mentioned that the Democrats didn't think that the comments she was making were right. I'm curious what your party and the members here in the Senate feel about the senator speaking about somebody who is seen by many as a sympathizer with the regime that obviously has hurt people that the senator cares about.
Well, first, my comment across the aisle was that several of the members across the aisle actually spoke on her behalf to speak. So that is my first and foremost piece. My thoughts are that members need to be able to voice what they believe their constituents' position is. And in this case, she was blocked from being able to do that. But worse, we were all blocked from having the materials to judge whether, for ourselves, whether or not her comments were offensive or not.
All right. Thank you, Senator.